quizzes to test your knowledge and understanding about what we talked about. But to fully clarify the first quiz, I just want to do a little bit of discussion on the boards about views. So we're going to move over to the board now. And over here, I set up a hypothetical case, okay? I have a group of tables, my three favorite tables, T1, T2, and T3. And I maybe need to work with them and join them together in a couple of statements. So I might pick a view to do that. That will just allow me to store the query. Could be a complex join of my three tables, okay? And all they really are, the views are just stored queries that we store in the data dictionary, and then we can use them. It makes it easier to access the complex query. Then I discover that I used view 1 to join table T1, T2, T3. I also have three more tables, T4, T5, T6, that I want to join together. And I create another view to do that because I want to join in with the original one, so I'm going to use view 1 plus my three new tables to join them together. Everything is looking great. That performs well, but sometimes we got to be a little careful with how Trevor does things. So of course he has more work. He creates view 2 to join V1 to the three new tables. And then later on I discover I have three more tables yet I got to join again. So we're following a theme here. So we're going to create V3, and everything up to that is great. If I use V1 where it's appropriate, when I want to join the first three tables together, that is great. If I'm using V2, I'm joining the six tables together, that's great, etc. Where it becomes problematic is Trevor's use of the views. He gets so enamored with his views that he creates a query against V3, and I'm so focused on the views I forget to realize what I'm doing. And I end up querying just data from two tables, okay? And I just pick the two above it. It doesn't really matter which two. What that means, we're joining 9 tables together. That takes effort on the server's part, but we're throwing away most of that data, okay? What I should really do is create a new view on either the view that contains only those tables, and I don't have it in this case, but I happen to want to join 1 and 2 together. I could have just created it on view 1. That would have been okay, but we would have been joining one extra table. A better strategy is create a view just on T7 and T8. And then I'm joining just the tables I need that will give us the best performance. This will certainly work, doing a query against it, but now I'm doing more work to solve the query that I should really have to. So taking that in light, we need to be careful with Trevor's use of views. Let's go back and take a look at this particular quiz question. Read it over and give you a moment to have a look at it. So the question is, although the views provide a clean programming interface, they should be used carefully because they can cause suboptimal resource-intensive queries when nested too deeply. It's not really the nested, it's the fact that Trevor sometimes loses sight of what he really needs to query and that. So they gave us two options, true or false. We'll give you a moment to contemplate it, then we'll share the answer with you. Okay, so the correct answer is true. If in my case I was only querying T7 and T8, I should have really created a separate view that only joined those two tables the way I needed it. That would minimize the resource and it would work well. The other one worked, but we actually did more work than we really needed to. Made it more resource intensive. So the second quiz is having a look at the characteristics that must be supported by an application that is designed for SQL efficiency. So we want to identify those characteristics. And we gave 3 responses. So we'll allow you to read through them for a moment, and then we'll discuss them. So now that you've had a look and contemplated their three answers, let's review them and decide there's actually one that they suggest. First one is use concurrent connections to the database. We would like you to use connection pooling to make the best use of the connections, especially if you're using JDBC connections with a middle tier application that's written in Java, or if you're using the .NET technology with it. Okay, so that wasn't the answer they were looking for. B is use cursors so that SQL statements are parsed once and executed multiple times. And that's our major goal for an OLTP application. There are going to be a finite number of transactions, but the transactions are executed repeatedly on the OLTP. What we'd like to do is have the statement parsed once and then executed many times. By using connection pooling, it facilitates it. We reduce the soft parsing. By using bind variables and good development technique, it minimizes the number of copy of statements and reduces the hard parsing in our application. The final one was for answer C. For data warehousing queries, cursor sharing is always important to get the best execution plan. In this case, we said that it was good for OLTP applications. In some cases, for data warehousing, reporting systems, OLAP, whatever you decide to call it, online analytical processing, where we're accessing large number of rows and very large tables. Okay, sometimes cursor sharing isn't as important as seeing the actual value and getting the best execution plan. So our solution for this was B.